Kathy, Vic, deeply awake. I wanted to come to you today because it's a special day for me. I enjoy graduations, and this one wasn't sparkly, and I wasn't in a casino, and there were no lights from above and beyond. Instead, I was surrounded by really beautiful people who, many I know, some I don't. But, performing in a choir, have you done it? Most of us have, as a youth or what have you. And there's really not a lot to it, right? There's music, and either you know how to read it or you don't. And you soak up the sounds, and you then sing the sounds. And then you add words, and then you add artistry. And then you trot up and perform, and you trot away. It's the same whether you're 4 or 84. And I was doing it in 2014, the season of 2014, and then now I'm doing it now. And this was opening day performance, opening season, open of the season, whatever you call that. And it was wonderful. And we did a great job. Is the trips I took stone cold sober while I was performing, and then there's a lot of downtime because I'm just a different person. They've talked about it being a humbling energy. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm always a little shocked that I was so loved, so cared for, and as I was so abstracted and working so many puzzles that were really kind of overwhelming. Good, but overwhelming. And it was a very, very, very intense time, 14 and 15 and 16. These have been big years. But I realize I'm at the end of something. I'm at the end of it. I'm done. I'm closing up this portion of the work, and this portion of the work took a lifetime. I'm complete in a brand new way, and I had evidence of that today. And it's internal as well as external. It's what I was thinking about, how I was thinking, how I was feeling, how I was thinking about my feelings. Different. I mean, night and day. Clear versus muddy. Relaxed versus frantic. Calm versus pressured. And it was just a way that I was. It was part of the work. So, is that humbling? Yeah. It's about as humbling as knowing that in my various states of egoic and spiritual disrepair or transformation, or whatever you want to call it, deconstruction and reconstruction, yeah, I chose to share that with the world on sometimes a daily basis, here and in writing, since 2012. No, I didn't do videos until April of this year, but I've been doing this kind of work since 2012. And and we've talked before about how it morphs and changes, but boy, this is a big one and a very welcome one. It reminds me of, I saw Sandra Walter's post today talking about the accelerated timeline. And when she had written about that earlier, it was as if it was still it hadn't been decided whether there was going to be enough propulsion, whether it would all match up as we went through the gateway. And I read her article as it was presented to her that it was potential at this point, but it was as real as any other potential. And I read it and thought, Maybe I want to do Ascension Light. I'm not really sure about this accelerated timeline. I'm a little tired. I mean, not in a soul way, not like before, but I wouldn't mind just coasting for a while. And then I saw she posted today that, an accelerated timeline update. And what she had to say was spot on. Overwhelmingly beautiful. Just unlanguageable. So, it's good. I want to have them come through. I just do. And then I think I need to take a nap. Looks like it might be a late night. Okay. Well, what we have to say is short and sweet, because much has been said. Now, we have done 2 videos today. One was so powerful that the screen, you know how it does that sometimes, yes. And it was at a crescendo of meaning and understanding that it happened. It was quite beautiful. We may post, we may not. What matters is a celebration today. Lightness. The Bashar. He say, let's be clear. Enlightenment, it's about lightening up. How about that? Well, that's a very nice thing to hear when things are heavy. It's good to hear. And it's good when things are lighter. The client talked about a 3-year completion process for some, not all, some. And what you have been witnessing is that, and there are many. So, yes, many. Look at your lives. Look at where you were. Perhaps your guides will be giving you, or your soul, will be giving you the opportunity to have an experience where you may see vividly just how much you have changed. Perhaps it's something that's happening to you daily, and it is slow, gradual, and not jarring. Well, bravo. If you like big ups, big downs, big splashes, this one before you has always enjoyed grand gestures. Appreciates them. They alleviate boredom, and they make life more livable. So, her reality is happy to oblige. Safe, be grand. Oh, we have visitors. Isn't that nice? We stand for a moment and talk about this. Interesting, is it not? Wouldn't you think that someone who is like this, like you see, she would require much physical isolation, yes, energetically? Oh my, she must need to be away physically from people. Well, although this is true in an interactive sort of way, it is comforting to live among others. A gift. And the usefulness of this particular arrangement is complete, but there was access to much energy, which this body was able to use very effectively. However, it is time to move on. So, that is being arranged. Fear not. And so, there are some who do require living isolated physically on an island away from all others. This is what a house is. You do notice there's a great difference energetically between an apartment and a single standing house. And surprisingly, this one prefers apartments. So, we did a long talk about archetype, stereotype, and prejudice. It's very interesting. And so we are addressing a stereotype, right? Oh, an energetic creature. She needs peace and quiet and isolation physically. This, for her, is not good, or has not been good. And then there's a change. We bring this up not to talk about one person, but to point out that where you are in space, geographically, I mean, is subject to change, you know, in these new times. Why is that? Because the grids are changing. And these grids are not magnetic. They are geometric. We're giving her visuals. We've always said, the group of you hold an energy, and you do so geometrically on this earth, and you are sometimes moved about, and you don't know why, but you are. Some prefer being on the road, traveling. Yes, and we thank you for this service, because with every step you take, you are spreading a beautiful energy. And it stays behind you, you know. Nowadays, yes. Yes. A light worker in full consciousness changes. That which they encounter energetically. This is true. And you've had enough training now, those who hold this energy, to understand what to do and how to cope with it. That has been part of the process. So we go back to the Crayon. He talked about a 3-year process. Yes, we'll be posting that one with this one. And this has been the beginning of a completion. Yes, there are many yummy goodies yet to come. And let us not forget, you still have a solstice to get through. Yes? Can you imagine the potency? Whee! Yes, that's a whee. Even we say whee to that one. So, when we say completion, yes, the human being, well, they go, oh, that's the end then. La la la, what do I do now? No, it always is ongoing. Consider completion's graduations. Did we not give you this analogy again and again and again over the summer about graduating, about being in a dorm room, and you went through the ceremony. One day you were a student, then a magical day which you have been working for so hard, for so long, and were kind of just built to do, golly, that day's there. And then suddenly, you're no longer a student. Suddenly, school's out. You're a graduate. This implies not only greater independence, but doesn't it also imply in this culture a change in perhaps not profession but activities? Yes. So some are strangely being called elsewhere. This has already happened to the Sandra Walter, stationed, dedicated at and to and for Manchester and her beloveds. Now, travelling, listening, and going where she is directed. This is the work at hand. New ideas, new hopes, new aspirations, new interests, new confidence that trying something you wanted to try might work out. Has not the Cryan been talking about this for quite some time? We reference him because this is a day of celebration. The video has already been done, but the Guru, we would like very much to explain. And it was not a channeled message, this Guru message. We believe it must be. Pardon. The Guru, misunderstood in Western culture and not thought of very highly. And yet, who but Jesus himself is the Guru for the group? Not treated as a guru, but a guru nonetheless. A guru is a spiritual mentor, a teacher, a guide, an assistant, and the punchline is a guru is an equal. The guru understands this. The student does not. And it is the student's task through inquisitiveness, openness, trust, respect, honor, and gratitude. Oftentimes it can only be given to Guru. It's impossible to give those to self when a Guru is required. Do you understand? A true Guru does not seek pupils. No. A true Guru never requires attendance. Ever. It's up to you, not the Guru. No. So, it's a different model, and so it is misunderstood and therefore maligned at times. But It is an ancient model of a family member inserting itself into the fabric of space-time to lend assist through agreement to a soul who desires assistance. It's a beautiful thing. And so, humbled by the love from human beings and from teachers. This one understood what we meant by this energy being humbling. Humility is a true sign of mastery. And humility is again a concept misunderstood and sometimes maligned. We hope that we have explained that humility is simply recognition of one's misunderstandings, of their unskilled stance or behaviors. In love, in appreciation, in retrospect, being humbled, that is a spiritual act and a spiritual gift to receive, to be humbled by another. It is a gift. Humility deepens. It does not overinflate, and it does not diminish. It deepens the love in the human heart. It is through humility that compassion can be embodied. We thank each of you for your service. For simply being here now. That is service enough. And you don't have to believe it. And if you are deep in misunderstanding and pain, you're so loved. You're so necessary. You're so beautiful. You're so safe. You're so close. So close. So close. To close, we told this one a long time ago. When her shame, it was quite a burden. She asked, why? Why all the self-defeating behavior? Why the weight? Why the behaviors? Why the pain? Why the lack of love? Why the loneliness? Why? Why the depression? Why? We told her, it's so that other people can look at you and say, well, if she can do it, so can I. You feeling that way yet? We hope so. We hope we have stated the case for how difficult things can be and how beautiful they are all at once. It's not all one way or another. The human being is light. This light is dampened and slowed with belief structures and thoughts which are not in alignment with the truth of your worth, your beauty, your perfection, your loving nature, your right to be here. The thoughts which do not allow for joy, permission to express, permission to relax, are normally quite heavy, and they overlay this light. If there are many overlays, or the overlays are very dense, it's hard for the light to communicate. Just slows things down, that's all. So it's not time to process no more. It's not time to go into self-flagellation. It's time to release the burdens, to realize the burdens are illusory, voluntary, purposeful, and time limited. As desired by the soul. So we say things are not always as they appear. Blessings be. And thank goodness for that. It's fun. It's more fun that way. So we thank you. Namaste.